Spartan warriors, the epitome of military excellence. The legacy of Spartan warriors is one that transcends the boundaries of time, culture, and geography. Known for their unparalleled discipline, unwavering courage, and unmatched combat skills, the Spartans have become synonymous with military excellence. Their training regimen, deeply rooted in the cultural and societal norms of ancient Sparta, was designed to produce soldiers who were not only physically formidable, but also mentally resilient. This article delves into the rigorous and often brutal training methods employed by Spartan warriors, exploring how these practices shaped them into some of history's most feared and respected fighters. The origins of Spartan military culture. Sparta, located in the southeastern part of the Peloponnese in modern-day Greece, was a city-state unlike any other in ancient Greece. While Athens is often celebrated for its contributions to philosophy, democracy, and the arts, Sparta carved out its niche as a militaristic society. The foundation of Spartan culture rested on the principle of eunomia, or good order, which emphasized discipline, obedience, and collective strength over individual freedom. This ethos was born out of necessity. Sparta's geography made it vulnerable to external threats, particularly from neighboring Messenia, whose population far outnumbered the Spartans. To maintain control over their territory and ensure their survival, the Spartans developed a society entirely centered around military preparedness. From birth, every aspect of a Spartan's life was meticulously planned to serve the state's martial needs. Boys were raised to become soldiers, while girls were trained to be strong mothers capable of producing healthy offspring. This singular focus on military prowess distinguished Sparta from other Greek city-states and laid the groundwork for its legendary warrior class. The Agoge, a systematic path to perfection. At the heart of Spartan warrior training was the Agoge, an institutionalized system of education and military preparation that began at a young age and continued until adulthood. The Agoge was not merely a series of physical exercises, it was a holistic program designed to mold boys into disciplined, loyal, and fearless soldiers. It encompassed physical conditioning, combat training, survival skills, and moral instruction, all underpinned by the values of endurance, self-sacrifice, and loyalty to the state. Early years, testing the mettle. The journey of a Spartan warrior began immediately after birth. Newborns were subjected to a rigorous inspection by elders known as the Gerousia. Any infant deemed physically weak or deformed was abandoned on Mount Taygetus, left to perish. This harsh practice ensured that only the strongest children survived to enter the ranks of Spartan society. Those who passed this initial test were raised by their mothers until the age of 7, during which time they were taught basic obedience and toughness. At the age of 7, boys were taken from their families and enrolled in the Agoge. This marked the beginning of their formal training and the first step toward becoming full-fledged warriors. They were organized into units called agili, herds, and placed under the supervision of older boys and instructors. Life in the Agoge was austere and demanding, with little room for comfort or indulgence. Trainees wore simple cloaks regardless of weather conditions, slept on reed mats, and received minimal food rations. This deprivation was intentional, as it instilled resilience and resourcefulness in the young recruits. Physical training, building the perfect warrior. Physical fitness was paramount in Spartan training, and the Agoge placed great emphasis on developing strength, speed, agility, and endurance. Daily routines included running, wrestling, boxing, and gymnastics, all performed barefoot to toughen the soles of their feet. Trainees participated in mock battles and competitive games designed to simulate real combat scenarios. These activities fostered camaraderie among peers while honing their tactical skills. One of the most distinctive aspects of Spartan physical training was the use of the dory, a long spear that served as the primary weapon of the phalanx formation. Boys practiced thrusting techniques with wooden spears until they could execute precise movements with ease. Archery and javelin throwing were also part of the curriculum, though secondary to close-quarters combat skills. Additionally, trainees learned to wield the xiphos, a short sword used in hand-to-hand fighting when the spear broke or became impractical. Endurance tests were another critical component of the Agoge. Trainees were required to march long distances, carrying heavy loads, endure extreme temperatures, and survive on meager provisions. Such challenges prepared them for the rigors of actual warfare, where stamina and adaptability could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Mental toughness, forging indomitable spirits. While physical prowess was essential, the Spartans understood that true strength lay in the mind. The Agoge sought to cultivate mental fortitude through rigorous discipline, psychological conditioning, and exposure to adversity. Trainees were taught to suppress emotions such as fear, pain, and doubt, replacing them with stoic resolve and unwavering determination. Stealing was encouraged as a means of developing cunning and initiative, provided one did not get caught. If discovered, the punishment was severe, reinforcing the importance of stealth and strategy. Similarly, trainees were often deprived of sleep and subjected to public humiliation to break down their egos and instill humility. These experiences taught them to remain calm under pressure and think clearly in chaotic situations. Another hallmark of Spartan mental training was the emphasis on obedience and teamwork. Individual success was subordinate to the collective good, and trainees quickly learned that their survival depended on cooperation with their comrades. This sense of unity and shared purpose was instrumental in creating the cohesion necessary for effective battlefield performance. Survival skills. Thriving in adversity. In addition to combat readiness, the Agoge equipped trainees with practical survival skills. They learned how to navigate unfamiliar terrain, track prey, and forage for food. Hunting was a common activity, both as a form of recreation and as a way to develop patience and precision. Trainees also received instruction in basic medical care, enabling them to treat wounds and illnesses in the field. Perhaps the most infamous aspect of Spartan survival training was the Krypteia, a secret mission undertaken by select trainees during their final year in the Agoge. Participants were sent into the wilderness with minimal supplies and tasked with surviving on their own while secretly observing and eliminating potential threats, such as rebellious helots, state-owned serfs. The Krypteia tested the limits of a recruit's resourcefulness and ruthlessness, serving as a final proving ground before graduation. The role of women in Spartan society. While much attention is given to male warriors, it is important to acknowledge the significant role played by Spartan women in shaping the warrior ethos. Unlike their counterparts in other Greek city-states, Spartan women enjoyed considerable freedom and responsibility. They were expected to maintain physical fitness through athletic pursuits such as running, wrestling, and discus throwing. This emphasis on athleticism ensured that they would bear strong, healthy children capable of excelling in the Agoge. Moreover, Spartan women were educated in matters of governance and leadership, allowing them to manage estates and oversee domestic affairs while their husbands were away at war. Their influence extended beyond the household, as they were known to inspire and motivate soldiers through speeches and songs. The famous phrase, "Come back with your shield or on it," exemplifies the high expectations placed on Spartan warriors by their female compatriots. Rituals and traditions. Strengthening bonds, rituals and traditions played a crucial role in reinforcing the values and identity of Spartan warriors. Annual festivals such as the Gymnopedia celebrated athleticism and martial prowess through dance, music, and athletic competitions. These events provided opportunities for trainees to showcase their skills and earn recognition from their peers and superiors. Initiation ceremonies marked key milestones in a warrior's development, symbolizing their transition from boyhood to manhood. Upon completing the Agoge, young men were awarded a crimson cloak and allowed to grow their hair long, a sign of maturity and status. They then joined a syssitia, or communal dining group, where they forged lifelong bonds with fellow warriors. Legacy and influence. The legacy of Spartan warrior training extends far beyond the borders of ancient Greece. Modern militaries and sports teams continue to draw inspiration from the principles of discipline, teamwork, and perseverance embodied by the Spartans. Historical accounts of their exploits, such as the Battle of Thermopylae, have been immortalized in literature, film, and popular culture, ensuring that their story remains alive in the collective consciousness. However, it is essential to view Spartan training within its historical context. While their methods produced exceptional soldiers, they also came at a cost to individual freedoms and human rights. The rigid structure of Spartan society and the harsh realities of the Agoge highlight the complexities of balancing personal liberty with collective security. Conclusion. The training of Spartan warriors stands as a testament to the power of dedication, discipline, and sacrifice. Through the Agoge, they transformed ordinary boys into extraordinary soldiers, capable of facing any challenge with courage and conviction. Though their world has long since vanished, the lessons of their training endure, reminding us of the enduring impact of a well-prepared and united force. Whether viewed as heroes, symbols, or cautionary tales, the Spartans remain an indelible part of humanity's shared history, a shining example of what can be achieved when individuals commit themselves wholly to a greater cause.